Good morning, 4th grade. Miss Burgess here. Today we're starting a new subject and it's on time. Elapsed time to be exact, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, you know the big clock that's in our classroom? That is called an analog clock. This is also an analog clock. I never knew what that word meant when I was a kid. I had no idea. So when I looked it up, it's actually very simple. Analog, all that means is that it is referring to something that is always changing. So when you have a clock, the hands are always moving, and so that's why it's called an analog clock. Okay, before we begin, there are a few other things that we want to remind ourselves about a clock and time. We know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, so if you counted all these little dots, there would be 60 of them around the clock. Also, the numbers represent skip counting by 5. So if we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you can see that this is one group of 5, 2 groups of 5 is 10 minutes, 3 groups of 5 is 15 minutes, and so on. They're just shortcuts to help us when we're telling time. If it's 11:30 right now, if we go all the way to 12, that's half an hour. So half an hour is 30 minutes. And if we're going to go half of 30 is 15, so this is a quarter of an hour right here, which is 15 minutes. So it's real important to know that this is 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, and 15 minutes. 15 and 15 is 30, and it all works together that way. Some kids get confused which hand is the hour hand and which hand is the minute hand. The easy way to remember it is the word hour is actually shorter than the word minute, so the hour hand is shorter than the minute hand. So that will be a way to help you if you get confused. Our main topic today, though, is elapsed time. All that means is how much time has gone by, how much time has passed by between one start time and an end time. And that's a very important concept. You're going to use it for the rest of your life, so we may as well get really good at it. And so that's what we're going to be talking about this week. You have to be able, as a 4th grader, to figure out how much time has gone by in so many different scenarios. So for an example, you're homeschooling today. You've been a perfect student, and your your teacher says, you know what, you've done a great job. How about you take a 45-minute break, go eat, and go outside and play. Just goof off. So if it's 11:30 when you get to take your break, we have to know what 45 minutes later would be so that you can be back in on time. So what you could do is count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So that means at 12:15 you have to be back inside ready to start class again. I do want you to know that I did make a sheet for you, and you can print it off and use it this week just as a resource. It gives you a picture of an analog clock, which you might need at some point this week when you're figuring out elapsed time. And then it has some information down here. So feel free to print that off if you want. Just like so many things in math, there are usually several different ways to get to the answer. So we're going to be going through different examples to show you how to do this. Okay, let's try one together. We need to find out if our start time is at 6:05 and we end at 8:15, how much time has gone by between those two different times. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick the biggest chunk of time first. So the biggest chunk of time is an hour. So if we do 1 hour, 6:05 plus an hour would be 7:05. But now can we take another hour? 7:05 to 8:05. Okay, we didn't go past 8:15, so that will work. So now if we add another hour, that would take us to 8:05. So if we're here at 8:05, how many more minutes until, if we're at the 5 mark here, there'd be 5, 10 more minutes to get to 8:15. So if we go straight on to 8:15, that is 10 minutes more. And so now all you have to do is add up right here. So we're going to add our hours first. So that's 2 hours, 10 minutes. And that is how much time elapsed between 6:05 and 8:15. Another way to figure this out is using a number line. So if you put your beginning time over here, and we're trying to figure out how much time elapsed to 8:15. So you always start with your biggest chunk of time. Can we get an hour out of that between 6:05 to 7:05? Yes, we can. So you would do a big hop and label your hop. 1 hour. Okay, can we do another hour hop from 7:05 to 8:05 without going over? Yes, we can. So we do another hop. Label, 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 label everything. That's another hour hop. Okay, so now we're at 8:05 and we're trying to get to 8:15. There's 10 minutes difference between that. So now we're going to do a little bitty hop. 8:15, and that's 10 minutes. So you would label that. And now to figure out elapsed time, you just add 1 hour plus 1 hour is 2 hours. And we have 10 minutes right there. So both ways will get you the same answer. Okay, here's another one. We need to know how much time elapses between 4:25 and 5:20. So here's a visual for you. If this is 4:25, right here, is our start time. What I think is easiest is get to one of these, like a halfway mark. So to go from 4:25 to 4:30 is 5 minutes. So I'm going to do that because it makes it easier for me. So that's 5 minutes and takes me to 4:30. Well, now it's easy to make that 30-minute jump. So if I go from 4:30 all the way up to here, that takes me to 5 o'clock. 30 minutes. Right here. Now I'm at 5 o'clock, and now I just have to go to 5:20. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. I could go ahead and just do that jump like this. So we have made it to our end time, so now we just add up our elapsed time over here. 30 plus 20 is 50, plus 5, 55 minutes is the elapsed time for this problem. Let's try this one. We want to see how much time is in between 11:15 and 1:20. Remember, it's almost kind of like Big 7 where you can take little bites or big bites depending on what you want. And so it's the same here. I'm going to take the biggest bite of an hour first. So 11:15 plus an hour would be 12:15. Okay, that will work. 1 hour. 12:15 to 1:15. Oh, that will work. I can take one more hour bite out of it. And now 1:15 to 1:20, that's only 5 minutes. So that's 5 minutes here. Now we just add. So our hours, 2 hours, 5 minutes is the elapsed time. Now you will also see problems where they tell you what the elapsed time is. This one is 1 hour and 30 minutes. And they're going to give you a start time, and you have to figure out what the end time is going to be. So our question mark here on this one is our end time. So let's see how we can figure this out. I'm going to look over here. This is at 6:20. So the first thing that we do is we look up here, and we see that we have to go 1 hour and 30 minutes. So an hour would make it 7:20 is 1 hour. So we took care of the 1 hour, and now we have to add 30 minutes. You could add 30 minutes directly to it if we went 30 minutes, or you could do in chunks of 10 minutes or 15, anything you want. Let's do 10 minutes, let's just say. So if we did 10 minutes, would take us to 7:30. 10 more minutes would take us to 7:40. Okay, so we're at 1 hour and 20 minutes, and we have to go 10 more minutes. So let's do 10 more minutes right here. Okay, let's check ourselves. This is 1 hour, 10, 20, 30. So this is 1 hour, 30 minutes on this side, so we're good. And now we look over here, and whatever our last time is our ending time. So we can write it up here. So our elapsed time between 6:20 and 7:50 is an hour and 30 minutes, so we are good to go. We can also use a number line to figure this problem out. Our starting time is 6:20. We'll write that here. And we need to go an hour and a half. So an hour is 7:20. And now we need to add 30 minutes. You could just add 30 minutes if you want, or you can do it in smaller hops. We can do it like this. 10 minutes would take us to 7:30. Another 10 minutes would take us to 7:40. And another 10 minutes would take us to 7:50. So we'll check it here. 1 hour, 10, 20, 30. Yep, that's correct. 1 hour, 30 minutes. And now to see what our ending time is, we just see what our last time is and plug it in up here. And that is how you figure out elapsed time.